with Okada talking about dream matches with two top AEW stars and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for January 24th.
Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub.
Following a return at the Day 1 pay-per-view, Beth Phoenix will be teaming with her husband Edge to take on Miz and Maurice at the Royal Rumble. Talking to the Daily Star, Phoenix noted Miz's journey to becoming respected by fans in WWE, saying, "I've known Miz since his first day stepping in the ring, and Maurice too. The wrestling business, especially a couple of decades ago, we were a very close, tight-knit group, and paying your dues was important. Here you had someone coming in with fame, and in the beginning, people were hesitant. Are you just seeking more fame? How much do you love this?" Unfortunately, that put Mike on a path to be swimming upstream because really, nothing could be further from the truth. I have such admiration for him. To have the thick skin to spend all these years not getting the approval that you deserve and portrayed as a heel all these years, that is tough. It's not easy to go out there and have people screaming at you that you suck every single day. With him being known for burying WWE stars back in the day, not many have a high opinion of Triple H. Speaking about this on his podcast, Jim Ross noted that Triple H's involvement with backstage politics did not do much for his popularity in the locker room. "I knew Triple H was going to be a star, and if you could not figure that out, you were just being unobjective and being a typical paranoid wrestler. Hunter was going to take some spots because he was willing to put in the work to see that that got done. Some of his mannerisms and how he navigated the political waters were not widely accepted by a lot of people in the back that Triple H's power base affected." Ross would then bring up Triple H's in-ring prowess, as some see him as a subpar worker. "He was a great heel, and he ended up being an excellent worker. Anybody. If people do not like his in-ring work, it's because of politics. You cannot tell me he was a bad worker. That is simply BS. Come on, if you don't like him, just say you don't like him, and no matter how good he gets, you're not gonna like him. He always had great potential, because he was always going to be prepared and educated, and I always thought he had great abilities. Some of his best matches were as that heel that continued to advance and grow. I thought he had a lot of talent." It was noted in the Observer last month that Triple H is unlikely to wrestle again, as we hope he's able to return to running NXT soon. In an odd twist on NXT, Walter has gone through a name change with him going by Gunter. On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T said he believes this alteration will not hurt the star, and that fans will soon forget about it. Everybody from that side of the world needs to be supporting him to bring more and more ratings to this show. We've got a diamond here. We need to let him shine. That's what I've always said about Walter. Now, Walter, of course, having the name change, that has caused a stir on the internet. A lot of people don't like it. The thing is, it's not something I like either, but it's not my business to think about what his name is. We were having this same conversation 3 months ago, maybe with Steiner and Breakker. Is anybody thinking about Bron Breakker now? Is anybody thinking about it? Everybody is talking about how freaking awesome Bron Breakker is. That's the only thing I hear now. Changing his name, I don't think that's something that is going to hinder him or hurt him in any way. When he goes out there to perform in the middle of the thing, I think people will forget it pretty soon. With him having segments on Raw with the WWE chairman, Austin Theory looks to be on a path to superstardom. On his podcast, Jim Cornette noted Theory's status in the company, claiming he is better than John Cena was at the same age. I personally believe John Cena's only advantage over Austin Theory at this point in both of their careers is that Cena had better promo skills. I saw them both at the same age at the same time. I'm sure Cena as a human being was probably more mature and developed than Theory, because he was that way. He was a mature, responsible person even then, but Austin is better at everything else at this stage of the game than Cena was, and I saw both of them. On the most recent SmackDown, Seth Rollins name-dropped AEW star Jon Moxley when referencing the Shield with Roman Reigns. While this got the attention of fans, it has been reported by Ringside News that this was a part of the script. Seth Rollins caused WWE fans to perk up when he name-dropped Jon Moxley on television recently. We were told that Moxley's mention on SmackDown was 100% scripted, so it was not off the cuff, and there was no surprise there to anyone who knew what the script said. The son of ECW legend Taz Hook has made quite the impression on AEW fans with his few exploits in the ring. Talking about him on his show, Kurt Angle heaped praise on the young star, saying, "He's making a huge impact in wrestling right now. This kid is awesome. He's going to be a big star." He definitely is. I hear he's got one of the top selling t-shirts for Pro Wrestling Tees, which is unbelievable. Kid only had 4 matches in AEW, and he's already a sensation. When it comes to the women's evolution in WWE, many give credit to former Divas champion AJ Lee, who recently returned to be a part of Women of Wrestling. A fan asked Paige on Twitter about what memorable moment she had in the company, as Paige replied she had a lot of memorable moments. Hype bombshell, longest reigning Divas champion, being one of the frontrunners of the Divas Revolution, to name just a few. "I appreciate you sticking up for me, but she did a lot for the women's division and deserves her roses." Known as Tyler Rex in WWE, Gabbi Tuft has been transitioning for the past year and a half, with her going on Instagram to show off her progress with pictures, as she wrote, "Progression over 1.5 years, reminding us that transitioning takes time. When my interview on Extra in February 2021 went viral, I had 99% positive responses from the entire world. The 1% though that felt the need to leave. Emojis. Tell me that I looked like a dude wearing makeup, threw insults, cursed me to hell, and said I've always be a man. Those comments ran deep. Looking back now on the progression of my transition, starting with yesterday and moving slowly back to summer of 2020, all compared to the 2016 photo on the right, it becomes apparent that the decision to transition from male to female is just that, a decision. The actual process of transitioning takes years, and has its ugly duckling phase, and it's something that every trans person will experience. I hope to change the outlook of a world that has the privilege of watching us through this incredible metamorphosis. If we can eliminate fear and replace it with love and understanding that perhaps my siblings will be free to live as who they truly are, without the fear of ridicule and the fear of losing everything, including their lives. Love you all, Gabbi." In this day and age, there are many scams that take place online. Unfortunately, pro wrestling stars and fans are not exempt from this, as AEW star Nyla Rose took to Instagram recently to warn fans about imposter accounts. As she wrote, "It's been brought to my attention that a few fake Nyla pages are messaging people, pretending to be me. Reminder, I'm verified on all platforms, and I don't talk to you weirdos, so use common sense. Just report the fake pages. Telling me about them does nothing." NXT champion Bron Breakker is seen as a top prospect in the promotion, and according to a recent report, he could be making his presence felt in the upcoming Royal Rumble. WWE is bringing at least 2 top NXT talents in for the Rumble weekend, PWInsider.com has confirmed. NXT champion Bron Breakker and Gunter, the former Walter, are slated to be in St. Louis next weekend for the Rumble event. There is no confirmation they will be in the Men's Rumble, but they will at least be on deck if needed. Talking to the Wrestling Observer, IWGP World Champ Okada mentioned that he's interested in having dream matches with AEW stars CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. We can't possibly say it at the moment, and everything is so up in the air, and sometimes putting these situations out, they might just end as dream matches and everybody's got a limited number of days left. But it's because we're in the situation that we're in that these dream matches become more important to all of us as fans. They give something to imagine and speculate and look forward to. Who knows? It might be Bryan Danielson, it might be CM Punk, it might be Triple H, or it might be Shinsuke Nakamura. It might be all of these different situations. Now we're in this situation we're in as a planet and as a society. It's more important than ever to have these crazy speculations and wild dreams of things we can do. interview, Insider reported on the severity of COVID issues that Impact is facing. As they noted, Impact Wrestling dealt with a lot of issues over the weekend due to COVID-19, with a number of talent and staff missing the tapings due to medical protocols, whether it be testing positive or being in contact with someone close who had. One source noted that COVID issues were the worst they had seen in a long time, and there were a lot of pivots and rewrites over the course of the week. Following his shocking release from WWE, we've gotten to see Braun Strowman in Ring of Honor and in EC3's Control Your Narrative group. Talking to CBS Sports, he touched on his future in pro wrestling. "I'm not looking for a full-time signing. I'll put that right there and nip that in the bud right off the get-go. I'm looking to enjoy some of my time. I love the art of professional wrestling, and 8 years with WWE was very time-consuming. I was very, very blessed with the opportunities that I had. I got to see the world and all these things, but it's been nice having these last 6 months to take a step back and breathe for a second. I forgot about all these little things in life that mean so much. Time flies by and you forget about it. You don't get a chance to do it. So I'm catching up on spending time with my family and loved ones, working on my mental health and my physical health, working on the tolls of 8 years of being a WWE superstar, getting a little reset on that and looking to have fun. Being full-time on TV every week, I'm not going to lie, it's stressful. It's nice not having that added stress element every week. Right now, I'm just looking to enjoy my time, have fun, sell at some buildings, raise some money for some charities, and just go out there and do what I do, and that's put smiles on people's faces." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.